Hey sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are creating a ton of DIYs using Dollar Tree's nautical rope. They've had this forever. It's definitely a staple and you need this in your crafting stash. I use this all the time and there are so many things you can use with the nautical rope and think outside of the box that you wouldn't even think of. So definitely leave me a big thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed, and let's go ahead and jump on into these rope DIYs. The first thing I am making here is a little jute placemat or trivet so that some of my decor won't get washed out on my white tables. And I just chose a couple of circular pieces from my craft room. I didn't want to use these pieces because I can save them for other projects, so I'm going to be gluing my rope on some old cardboard. So the first thing I did was just cut down some cardboard pieces so they were easier to work with. I traced the circles and then I am cutting them out. And then all you have to do is just get started, and this is super simple to do. I like to put a dot of hot glue in the center of the cardboard and kind of twist the rope around and make sure that it dries or cools off so that it is really nice and secure, and then I start going around. So you don't have to glue every piece of this, but I did want to add a ton so this didn't get loose or try to pull up from the cardboard, but just taking my nautical rope and twisting it around. Dollar Tree has several different options for this, so definitely just pick out the rope that you love. They offer this in white and darker versions, but just keep winding this around until you get to the end. I did have to glue a couple of these ropes together, but just placing them really nice and tight together where the ends meet, and you'll never be able to tell where your seams are. At the end, I do like to cut my rope at an angle so it kind of blends in with the circular shape, and then I trim off any extra cardboard that was poking out of the sides. And then I am making a smaller one, and it was just by mistake that these two ropes were different colors. So I love how it turned out. That was just a happy little accident, but I think it looks really, really pretty and looks intentional, like the outside is supposed to be darker. And then using a lighter, I love to singe off all of those little rope hairs and excess hot glue strings, and it gives it a perfect smooth finish. These just take a few minutes and make a huge difference. Like I said, so all of that decor isn't getting washed out on your table. You just make the perfect size, custom to fit any decor piece that you want to stand out, and these are so awesome just for a couple of bucks. Right now, it is so super trendy for all of these little braided hanging baskets, and I knew I could create the same look for a couple of bucks from Dollar Tree. So I am getting the rope started just like I did on the cardboard, twirling it around, but I'm not attaching it to anything. I do like to do this on top of scrap paper or something so I do not ruin my work surface, but I try to create a little circle that's larger than a container that I feel like is kind of the shape and size that I'm wanting. So I'm using one of these Dollar Tree votive or candle holders, but I kept twisting it around to make sure that it wasn't attaching to the rope, and then I went up as far as I wanted to, and then whenever you pull the glass out, you're able to finish it off at the top, cut it down, and then once again taking my lighter to singe off any hairs or hot glue strings, and it just took the shape of the glass container perfect. So I love this so much. You could definitely do this to any size or shape container that you would like to use. And then just to get a little bit more of a nicer look, I am painting the end right now. All of the paint dipped decor pieces are so super trendy, so this is such a high-end look for just a couple of bucks. And then Dollar Tree has this faux leather ribbon that looks perfect for a little handle. I put some greenery in there, and it is gorgeous hanging off of a shelf. I get so excited finding these little faux barrels from Dollar Tree. They are plastic, but they are like a nice, thin, workable quality that I was able to screw some holes in so I could make the perfect hanging basket. Now, I didn't love how dark this was. It didn't go with like my boho farmhouse look, so I wanted to lighten it up. So I'm taping off all of the places I want to paint and then going over that with some of my chalk paint. This is the steel color. It's like a medium gray. It's not too light, but it definitely shows up everywhere. And I'm painting the top and the bottom of this barrel. I remove the tape, and then just to get that wood to blend in a little bit more, I'm kind of using the excess on my brush to dry brush over all of that brown. I let that completely dry, and then I am trying to drill 3 holes evenly around this little barrel, and you can just count the little lines in between each hole or just kind of eyeball it, but I did want this to hang as even as possible. And then I'll be able to take the nautical rope and make some knots in the center so that this will hang by the 3, and then I'll put a knot at the top so I'll get the perfect little hanging basket. To finish the look off, I did find some beautiful jute, like fancy little ribbon from Dollar Tree, so I'm gluing that around the bottom. I feel like it goes perfect with the nautical rope and lightens up the bottom, and I feel like this has the perfect boho look to it. I did tie all of my ropes in a knot at the top and then went around it with this same ribbon so that it would all blend in and look really pretty together. I ended up hanging this from a shelf, and I love how it turned out. Next up, I am taking my jute rope to create a little bird's nest. I already created this little white stand in a previous video, and it is just a Dollar Tree candle plate on top of a candle holder, painted white, and then I sanded the edges down to get a little bit of a distressed look. And then to get the shape of the nest that I want to make, and I am going to be decorating this with some of Dollar Tree's little birds that they have in the floral section. And I am kind of doing the same thing I did on the glass container, making the little rope basket as I did before in this video, but taking a bow to really get that nest shape and just going over this with my hot glue and nautical rope until it starts to make like a little bitty bow. Then I was able to put in some Spanish moss and decor to really dress this up. I didn't care about the hot glue, so I kind of was being a little bit messy with it here. If this bothers you, you definitely can try to spend a little extra time to get more of a precision of your glue and not get so messy with it. But I was going to be covering over the inside with this Spanish moss, so I am just adding in more hot glue and placing some in there. For the decor in there, I'm using a couple of these birds, and I wanted more of like that turquoise blue color, so I decided to just go for it and paint the entire thing with some chalk paint. This turned out really good. You could choose any color that you want, but I feel like it adds that extra pop of color, and I love this blue color for going on into the spring and summer months. After they were completely covered with the blue and I let that dry, I'm taking a teeny tiny brush to fill in the little eyes, and these are so beautiful set down in that little nest. I love getting this out and decorating around it. I feel like it adds a perfect pop of color and just a really, really fun piece. The little chalkboard tags from Dollar Tree are perfect to add in a little personalization, and you can put like the established date or write our nest, but I feel like it's really cute and be able to pair this with the birds. I wanted them to have a little bit more of height to them because they were getting lost down in the Spanish moss, so adding some wood blocks underneath. And then here I am always overthinking what I'm going to write and worrying about how it's going to turn out. But I thought this was cute, just a little handwritten message on there. This would make a really cute gift for a friend or for someone getting married, but I think it turned out really cute. Next up, I love to use my nautical rope to decorate up these jars in particular, but any type of Dollar Tree jar, you can always wrap that in jute twine. But for this, I already had made this in a previous video. I just painted the bottom of one of these glass containers black and put some of that little ribbon around it, but I wanted to create a lid and using the rope. So I took one of those wreath charms, which is just a wooden circle with a wooden bead. I filled in the holes with wood filler, glued them together, and then painting them black. But the real secret here to get this to work and not just be setting on top is to use the nautical rope. So after this dried, I flipped it over and glued some of the rope along the edges, and this will kind of give it like a little seal whenever it does go around the top of the glass container. So this makes it nice and tight and actually fits on top of this container. I love it so much that it fits on there so good, like it's made for that. And then because I felt like I wanted it to just be more blended in and look like it's supposed to be there, I put a little bit more of the nautical rope around the bottom. But these are such cute little containers that you could fill with anything you want, but just a really pretty piece that also goes with like our modern farmhouse decor. Thank you all so much for coming along and crafting with me today. I can't wait to hear from you and let me know if there's anything I missed and DIYs that you make with this rope that I didn't make today. I would love to hear from you. Make sure you leave me a big thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting. Bye.